You are not failing. You are overloaded. You look around your life and see dishes in the sink, messages unanswered, bills waiting, laundry half finished, and a calendar that somehow looks full and empty at the same time. And even though you are doing your best, it still feels like you are always one step behind. You wake up already negotiating with the day. Before your feet hit the floor, your brain is checking work, school, food, money, appointments, errands, and the one thing you forgot yesterday. You tell yourself you just need more discipline, more energy, more focus, or maybe a better attitude. But what if the real problem is not your effort? Most chaotic lives are not caused by lazy people. They are caused by invisible systems that are either missing, overloaded, or living entirely inside your head. You are trying to run a full life from memory, mood, and urgency, which means every small task has to fight for space in the same tired brain. How long can anyone do that before the whole day starts to feel like a fire drill? Think about a normal weekday. You answer one message, then remember the insurance form. You open your laptop, then see the school email. You start making dinner, then realize something is missing from the fridge. Nothing here is dramatic on its own, but together, these tiny open loops create a constant background noise. This is where cognitive load matters. Cognitive load is the amount of mental effort your working memory is carrying at one time. Your working memory is not built to hold your whole life, and when it gets crowded, even simple decisions start to feel heavy. Have you ever stood in front of the fridge and felt too tired to decide what dinner should be? That is not a character flaw. That is a signal. Your brain is spending too much energy tracking, remembering, switching, and recovering. The chaos is not always in the tasks themselves. It is in the number of decisions attached to those tasks. A bill is not just a bill. It is when to pay it, where the login is, whether the money is there, whether another payment is coming out, and whether you already handled it. A school form is not just a school form. It is where the form went, when it is due, who needs to sign it, and what happens if it disappears under a pile of mail. This is why doing your best can still feel so bad. You are not only doing the work, you are also designing the process, remembering the timing, managing the consequences, and emotionally absorbing the stress of anything that slips. Does it make sense now why you feel tired before anything has technically gone wrong? There is also something called the Zeigarnik effect. It is the tendency for unfinished tasks to stay active in your mind. Your brain keeps nudging you about unresolved things because it is trying to protect you from forgetting them. But when your life has too many unresolved things, those nudges become mental static. You sit on the couch, but your mind keeps standing up. You try to rest, but a tiny voice says dentist appointment, birthday gift, budget, oil change, tax document, reply to that message. You are not relaxing. You are holding a silent staff meeting with every unfinished part of your life. The fix is not to become a perfect person. The fix is to stop using your brain as the main storage place for your life. You need a simple outside system that catches the repeatable parts before they become emergencies. What would feel lighter if you did not have to remember it from scratch every time? Start with 3 buckets, not 10. Not a color-coded life overhaul that takes a whole weekend and collapses by Wednesday. Just 3 buckets: money, time, and home. Money is everything that can become stressful because it is late, unclear, or avoided. Bills, subscriptions, debt payments, savings transfers, reimbursements, renewals, and anything that makes you hesitate before opening your bank app. Time is everything that needs a place on the calendar before it becomes a surprise. Appointments, school events, deadlines, work blocks, errands, and recurring responsibilities. Home is everything that keeps daily life moving. Laundry, groceries, meals, dishes, cleaning resets, bags packed for tomorrow, and the tiny physical tasks that make the next day easier. These 3 buckets do not solve everything. They give your chaos a place to land. Isn't it easier to handle a problem when you know what kind of problem it is? Now create one landing zone for each bucket. For money, use one weekly money check. For time, use one calendar review. For home, use one daily reset. Each landing zone should be small enough that you can do it even when life is not calm. Your weekly money check can take 15 minutes. You look at what came in, what needs to go out, what is due before the next check, and what needs attention. You are not trying to become a financial expert in one sitting. You are simply replacing avoidance with visibility. Your calendar review can happen once or twice a week. You look at the next 7 days and ask what needs preparation, what needs travel time, what needs a reminder, and what needs to be moved. This is not about filling every empty space. It is about reducing surprise. Your daily reset can take 10 minutes. You clear one surface, prepare one thing for tomorrow, move one load of laundry, and write down anything your brain is trying to hold. It will not make your home perfect. It will make tomorrow less hostile. A good system should lower the number of decisions you make. This is why implementation intentions are useful. The idea is simple. Decide in advance when and where something will happen, so you do not have to rely on motivation in the moment. Instead of saying, "I need to get better with money," you say, "Every Friday after lunch, you check bills for 15 minutes." Instead of saying, "You need to stay on top of the house," you say, "After dinner, you reset the kitchen counter and pack tomorrow's bag." Instead of saying, "You need to be more organized," you say, "Sunday evening, you look at the week and choose 3 priority tasks." Specific plans beat vague pressure. What vague pressure could you turn into one specific appointment with yourself? Now imagine the same chaotic weekday with these systems in place. You see a bill in your email, and instead of spiraling, you add it to the money checklist. You see a school reminder, and instead of trusting memory, you put it on the calendar with a preparation note. You notice the kitchen is messy, but you know the goal is not a perfect home. It is a 10-minute reset after dinner. The tasks still exist. Life still has friction. People still need things from you. But the emotional shape changes because every task is no longer a floating threat. This is the before and after that matters. Before a system, every task asks, "Will you remember me?" With a system, every task has a place to go. Before a system, you respond to life when it gets loud. With a system, you meet life at a few predictable checkpoints. You do not need a system for everything. You need systems for the things that keep repeating and keep hurting. If dinner becomes stressful every night, it needs a small system. If bills create dread every month, they need a small system. If mornings start in panic, they need a small system. The mistake is trying to organize your whole life at once. That creates a new project, and overwhelmed people do not need a new project disguised as self-improvement. They need relief. What is the one repeated stress point that would make the biggest difference if it had a home? Choose that first. Maybe it is a Sunday calendar review. Maybe it is a Friday money check. Maybe it is a 10-minute evening reset. Make it boring, visible, and easy to restart. Boring matters because dramatic systems often depend on a burst of energy. Visible matters because hidden systems get forgotten. Easy to restart matters because real life will interrupt you. The best system is not the one you perform perfectly. It is the one you can return to without shame. So put it somewhere you can see it. A note on the fridge. A reminder on your phone. A simple checklist near your desk. Not because you are incapable, but because capable people use supports. You can also lower chaos by separating capturing from doing. When a task appears, you do not have to do it immediately. You only have to capture it in the right place. This one habit protects your attention from being hijacked all day. If you are working and remember the dentist, capture it. If you are cooking and remember a bill, capture it. If you are driving and remember a school item, use a voice note when it is safe. Then return to what you were doing. This is how calm begins, not with a completely different life, not with a personality transplant, not with waking up as someone who loves spreadsheets, laundry, and meal planning. Calm begins when fewer parts of your life are floating around without a place to land. For today, do one small action. Take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Write 3 headings: money, time, and home. Under each one, write anything your brain has been trying to remember. Do not solve the list yet. Just move it out of your head. Then choose one bucket and give it a tiny weekly or daily checkpoint. That is enough for today. Your life may still be full. Your responsibilities may still be real. You may still have dishes, deadlines, forms, errands, and people depending on you. But the goal is not to make life empty. The goal is to stop making your brain carry everything alone. You are not failing. You are finally seeing the system problem underneath the stress. And once the chaos has a place to land, doing your best can finally start to feel like enough.